All right, welcome back to Trust Me, I'm Fat. I'm Starla, and today we are going to make Texas sheet cake brownies. They are really good. My family likes those, and this is partly how our channel got our name, because it's really good, but it's very fattening. So we're first going to start by combining the dry ingredients. You're going to put 2 cups of sugar. I already measured everything out this time, so it could be fast. And 2 cups of flour. And in this little bowl I have 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Make sure we get all that. And we're just going to whisk that together. Oops, forgot the whisk. Okay, so I just whisk it together. Okay, now the next part, I've got 2 sticks of butter. This is salted butter. You can use unsalted, salted. I don't think it really matters. I just use whatever's in the fridge that day. And we need to turn this on. Okay, so we're going to get our butter melting down. And to that we're going to add 1 cup of water. And 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. And a little. So I like mine to have a little extra cocoa powder in it. And we're just going to take the same whisk, and you have to stir this all the time or it will burn. I'm just doing this over medium heat, not anything hot. Just want to bring it up to a low boil. But you gotta melt your butter in there. Okay, we've got our low boil, just very low boil. And then we're going to add that to our dry ingredients. And if you want to use a mixer to do this part, you can. I always just whisk it by hand. That's how I do all my cakes. So you're just going to whisk this together. Okay, we've got that thoroughly combined. No dry patches. We're going to add to this. In this is 1/2 cup of buttermilk, and I've also put the vanilla in it. There's 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and a little, because it kind of spilled over when I was trying to measure it. But that's okay. A little extra vanilla never hurt anybody. Does anybody really measure that anyways? Anyways, and 2 eggs. And if you crack your eggs into a different container before you put them in, you'll be able to see if there are shells, because you don't want any shells in your cake or cookies or bread or anything you're making that you're putting eggs in. And you're just going to combine that. Now this is a little bit runny, but it's supposed to be. This is not a thick batter. I've already preheated my oven to 350. This is the sheet cake I'm going to use. I found this stuff that is awesome many years ago, and it is like a cooking spray, but it has flour in it, so you don't have to butter and flour and make that big mess. You just spray it, and I always do that over the sink. So if I miss, it's not a big deal. It's not on the floor for me to slip on later. I'm just going to pour this in. You want to make sure you get it evenly across the pan. And I drop it a few times to get some of the air bubbles out. And then you're going to bake this at 350 for 25 minutes. And I do it for 20 minutes, and then when that's done, I make the frosting during the last 5 minutes of cooking, because that's when you'll put it on, is right after it comes out of the oven. Okay, our last 5 minutes is here, so we're going to start the frosting. I've got a 1/4 cup of butter that I've cut up in little chunks that we're going to put here on medium heat again, like we did earlier, except this time I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of buttermilk, and 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder to it. And we're going to stir it the whole time or it will burn. And we're going to bring it to a low boil again. Okay, now it is bubbling just a little bit. So we're going to add some of our very fine vanilla. It's fancy, so it's in fancy glass. And we need 2 1/4 cups of powdered sugar. That is sifted. You can use one of those little hand sifters that you shake. I'm gonna cheat. We're gonna use this one. Ooh, it's going everywhere. Go. It's kind of messy. Okay, then we're just gonna whisk this in, and you'll have a very delicious frosting. And when our cake comes out while it's still hot, we're gonna pour it on top and smooth it out. I think my cake only has a couple minutes left. But if you sift it, it won't have chunks of powdered sugar in there. It will be nice and smooth. If you don't sift it, it's going to be chunky. That was a mess. Nice. So now we just have to wait for the cake to come out. Okay, the timer went off on our cake and I've got it out. And so we're just going to pour our frosting on the top. Just smooth it out. You use a spatula or whatever you want. I use my offset knife here. Then I won't burn my hand on the hot pan. Oops. Oops. Here's a good example of what happens when you don't sift all of the powdered sugar. Because I cheated at the end and dumped some in, and now I got a couple little chunks of powdered sugar in there. They won't hurt nobody. I'm just gonna leave it there. My kids don't care. They'll still eat it. Now for the hard part. You have to wait an hour before you can cut it, so it can cool and the frosting will set up, and this will make 24 servings, and we'll give it a taste in about an hour. Okay, it's finally been an hour, so we're gonna cut our brownies, or Texas sheet cake, buttermilk chocolate cake. Ooh, yeah. Whatever you want to call it. Use a plastic knife. I like a, that you get in your picnic stuff that you take. Just use one of those and it won't stick. If you use a metal one, it'll stick and it will tear it up. All right. Let's get one out to taste. The first one always comes out ugly. You have to have a little glass of milk. That's really good. The boys are gonna be really excited when they get home from school today and get to have brownies, and Kendall will be excited to have one. You wanna come have one?
I'll have a
Come have a taste. Tell me if I did good.
Yep, I'd say that's pretty good.
You need some milk?
I like it. Yes. Be fancy with it.
All right, well, that's all I have for today. Please like and subscribe to my channel and comment below something that you want to see me cook and try to make for you if you have any ideas. And that's all. Yeah. Right?
Right.
Okay. Like and subscribe. Thank you.